Hi everyone, it's Karen from Craftykarendesigns here. Welcome to Fun Fall Friday. This week I'm going to make a diamond top card. Now this is a sample that I made a very long time ago. I think this was the first ever Fun Fall card I ever made. So you'll have to excuse it because it's a bit rough and ready and not really very good. So I'm hoping when I reinvent it this time, I'll make a better job of it. As I said, this was the first one I ever did, and it was just a bit of a practice really. But it's quite easy. So I'm going to show you how to do it, and I'm going to use the beautiful Feels Like Frost designer series paper, and I'm going to make it as a birthday card for a very good friend of mine. So let me show you how to do it. So first of all, you need a full piece of A4, and I've got Seaside Spray. So first of all, you're going to score it at 4 1/8. On that there. 4 1/8 from top to bottom, like that. And then you're going to turn it 90 degrees and do 4 1/8 again. Across this way. So now you'll have 2 squares at the top and then 2 long rectangles. So we'll get rid of that. Find a ruler. So now you need to measure down the centre line there to 5 1/2 and just make a little mark like that. And then you're going to measure down the side to 7 1/4 and make another little mark. And then round on the other side again at 7 1/4. And then you need to join up that centre line, that one there, with that one on the side, like that, and connect the two with a score line. And again on the other side. Like that. So now you've got 2 diagonal lines going that way too. Just bear with me while I put my other light on. That's better. Maybe I can see what I'm doing now. So now we need to fold and burnish these score lines. So I'm going to fold it over that way and burnish that one. And then fold it over that way and burnish that one. And then you need to manoeuvre these diagonal ones. Just give them a bit of a helping hand. And then eventually what will happen is when you come to close it, just keep pushing gently. Pushing gently together and it will close like that. So then you just need to reinforce these scores. Just takes a little bit of persuading. You have to show it who's boss. we go. And the more you keep opening and closing it, the better it will lie eventually. Okay. So I'll just put something heavy on it just for a minute. Let me find a punch. Just put that on it for a minute while we look at the decoration. So as I said, I'm going to use the Feels Like Frost, and I'm going to use this beautiful one that is all shades of pink and blue and lilac, and I think it's gorgeous. So I decided to use the Poinsettia Petals dies to make a flower. And there are 3 sizes of these dies, like that. And then the petal piece, which is embossed, fits in like that. And what I've done is I've made a mark with a Sharpie so that I know which way round they all go, because otherwise it takes a few minutes to sort it out every time you do it. So I've put a little Sharpie mark on each one. That was a good tip from my crafty colleague, Nigeza. She showed me that one. So I'll put those away because I've already done these to save some time. It can be a bit boring watching somebody else do die cutting. So I've done it twice. So I've got 2 of each size. 2 large, 2 medium, and 2 small. And the idea for using this Feels Like Frost to cut the flower out came from Tina Zink, I think she's called. I saw her do it on her channel. And I thought, why have I never thought of doing that? It's really, really pretty. So we'll put that together and then it can be drying. Actually, first we'll give it a little bit of shape to these petals. So we'll just give them a bit of a bend, gently. Because don't forget, it's DSP, it's not cardstock. So it's not quite as robust. And when we've stuck it together, we can fiddle about with it a bit more. And we'll have some going one way and some going the other. I love this flower. I think it is beautiful. And it doesn't just have to be for Christmas. If you do it in other colours, it could be any sort of flower. There we go. So we'll start adding these together. So we'll start with the largest one, little blob of wet glue in the middle of that, and then we'll offset those petals like that, and then a bit more glue, and then we'll get another one. It's the medium one, and a bit more, the other medium one. That's what I love about the crafty community. You watch other people's videos and you get ideas to add to yours. Looks a bit skew with that one. Don't think I put that one in the centre. Try again with that one. That looks a bit better. And you can take inspiration from lots of different people and bring them all together into one project of your own. There we go. Really nice, full flower. And we can flick some of these petals up the other way. to give a bit more life to it. We'll zhuzh it up a bit when it's actually stuck down. There we go. I like it because there's so many layers on this one. All the ones I've done before, I've only used the 3 layers. But because this is DSP, it's not as thick, obviously, so it looks better, a bit fuller. We'll leave that one to dry for a minute. Right, now we'll do the other bits. The only tricky bit about this card is getting this bit and the inside bit to get to be the right shape. It can be a little bit tricky, so just take your time. And if you don't get it quite right the first time, just keep shaving off little tiny pieces until you do get it right. So this designer series paper measures 4 inches across the bottom, the whole 6 inches I think on the side, yeah, and then up this side I've measured 4 3/8, and then all you do is put the top bit in your trimmer and the mark that you've made on this side at 4 3/8 and cut it on the diagonal from one point to the other, and then you'll get a piece like that. And the piece for the inside is exactly the same. So if I show you on the trimmer, I mean obviously I've cut it already, but it's easy enough. Just make a mark on that side and then just line the 2 up in the trimmer like that, and then just slice it. If you're a bit nervous about it, have a practice like I did with a bit of card that you don't need. So this bit is going to go on this section, so we'll open it out a bit while we stick this down. So that's just going to go on there with a tiny border. The back off a dimensional stuck to my glue. So just lay it down and smoosh it out. And there we go. Smooshed it a bit too much there. So there we go. How pretty does that look? Then we'll do the inside piece, but we'll stamp on it first. And if we make a mess of the stamping, we can cut another piece. So I'm going to use, this is a birthday card for my friend. So I'm going to use this wishing you the happiest of birthdays. I'm not actually going to put a sentiment on the front of the card because I don't want to detract from that really pretty paper. And this won't fit. So I'm going to put this on the inside. So, sorry about the table jiggling a bit. So I'll line that up on my grid paper to make sure it's straight. I'll take that up a bit, and then there's room to write a message underneath and hope it's not wonky. There we go. What a lovely colour. Really like this stamp set. So now we'll adhere that onto the inside. So all the measurements for this will be over on my blog. And there'll be a template that you can follow as well. Open that out at craftykarendesigns.blogspot.com. There we go. So now all we've got left to do is this piece. So I've got a piece of designer series paper, which is, I think it's 4 inches square. It is 4 inches square. And I'm going to put that on there. Now don't forget, if you've got a directional paper, make sure that you've cut this in the right orientation. Otherwise your leaves might be upside down or whatever. So we'll add that. Just line it up and leave yourself a little border all the way around the outside. Sorry about the shadows, it's because I'm filming in the evening. I don't normally do that, I normally film during the day. But my husband's watching car repair programmes or something boring like that. So I thought I'd come into my craft room and play for a little while. So then I'm going to add a piece of Seaside spray to there, and this is 3.5 squared. So I'm going to glue it down. I was just thinking about putting it on dimensionals then, but because it's quite bulky in the middle, I won't make it any worse. Otherwise you'll be having to pay a parcel rate to post it. And we don't want that. So just leave an equal border all the way around. And smoosh that down a bit. And then this is going to go in the middle like that. Need to find something to go in the centre of that as well. Let me fiddle with these petals a bit more. Just have some of them going in the opposite direction, because they don't all go the same way round naturally, do they? I'll put some glue on the back of here and I'll add that about there. I suppose I could have found a tiny sentiment and added it to the front, to this bit, but I didn't really want to. I thought I'd leave it. This paper's too pretty to cover up. I'll see if I can find a pearl or something to go in the middle of that. Do a few, couldn't I? I could cluster some pearls together in the middle of that. Where's my take your pick tool gone? Lid on that. So I think I'll cluster 3 or 4 of these pearls in the middle. There we go. What do you think? How pretty is that? I really like that. And I love this paper. Wishing you the happiest of birthdays. So there you go. It's quite an easy card. I hope you'll give it a go. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please press on the red button below and click on the bell and you'll get notified every time I upload a new video. I do a Fun Fold Friday card, a Fun Fold card every Friday, and we're up to about 43 now, something like that. So there's lots for you to go back and look at if you want to on my blog, craftykarendesigns.blogspot.com. If you're interested in purchasing any of the products that I've used today, there's a link to my shop below the video, and there's also a link to my Facebook page if you want to join my group. And if you want to join my team, I'd be really happy to have you. Just drop me a message if you're interested. You too could be making cards quite quickly, quite easily. It's really good fun. And at the moment, while we're all on lockdown and things are a little bit anxious and people are a bit fed up, this is my happy place and it makes me feel much better. So could do the same for you. Why don't you give it a try? Thanks very much for watching. Bye.